Hello and welcome to a very overdue update from me and the doggies, if we can get them in. It's been nice today, but it's cold and misty now. I left coming out too late. My hands are certainly regretting it. So it has been a long time since the last update. The new job is going really well, and now 3.5 months in, I think, and starting to get settled in. The commute is 3 days a week, 1 week and 2 the next, which isn't too bad, but it is still a round trip of about 5.5 to 6 hours. So, and luckily no early shifts, but even to be in for a relatively normal time of about 8:10, 8:15, I'm getting up at 5. So just getting into the rhythm. Haven't been doing any very much writing wise, but that's going to start changing. Wanderer 11, my plan is to start getting that moving over the next few weeks. I'm not going to give exact dates because they always go out the window anyway, but I am now getting into the rhythm enough that I can manage to think about doing some writing, and I've still learning an awful lot on the new job, but I've learned enough that my brain is no longer feeling like it's bleeding out my ears some days. Which is fun. It's fun learning new stuff. It's actually quite good fun starting a new job. I used to contract for a long time, so a lot of the roles were, though some of them were like 4 years, some of them were only a year or so, and I always quite enjoyed that learning the new things stage. But it's a really good job, really enjoying it, which is great. So yeah, Wanderer 11. Now start getting moving. The Dawnblade novel, I've done a few days where I've done a bit on it and moving forwards, and I'm enjoying it, I'm liking it. And I think also it was just the middle of the winter slump, which seems to hit every year. It is just very difficult when it's dark and cold, and just find I need more sleep during the day as well. And this lovely weather here, which we had earlier, has definitely been helping with the sun being out and things like that. Other than that, I've also been working on something because I wasn't up to the writing, but I've been working on an idea for a long time. Hell, bloody 40 years or plus now, that I'd like to write some text adventure games, the old interactive fiction. And so I looked into some engines. Wasn't that impressed? Well, not impressed, but it wasn't what I was after. Started working with ChatGPT to produce some of the code, and it was absolutely magical. The stuff it can create is awesome. The problem it runs into is as it gets more, it just can't keep it all together. Especially as the way it's coding is not exactly building code, certainly not the way a person would. So while it went really well for about 3 weeks, over 3 weeks it got worse and worse, more and more issues. It kept breaking itself. And then I started looking at it and realising I had no idea and no confidence in it. So I've gone back and started building the engine myself, using a few of the tweaks from it, and going through the exercise with ChatGPT was really good because it brought out a lot of stuff I wouldn't have thought of. And I'm still writing it with assistance, but I'm doing most of the coding, and ChatGPT is there to bounce ideas off of, and it's also useful for actually producing the first game that I want to create, which funnily enough is going to be set in the Dawnblade universe. So that's been something I've been working on, where I wasn't quite in the right mindset to be creative, but wanted to be building something. And certainly that's something I'll give more information on. Obviously the key thing for me is that because it's interactive fiction, it's text adventures, it's very much kind of sits alongside writing, and my aim for it is to create games that are not quite so linear as a lot of them used to be. So I want to create puzzles where there might be 2 or 3 solutions, and what solution you choose for one might impact what's available for the next, and things like that. Not every single puzzle, but just to make it interesting, and the focus on the world building and exploring the world. So it's going really well. It was a real slog for the first 2 weeks of the rewrite. Because that was putting in the foundations properly. So now, as I'm adding more stuff, it's happening very quickly. So that's going to be mixed in with doing writing as well. And I've got quite a backlog. But I'm kind of have the space to write more stories in terms of dictating, because I've got a half an hour drive to the station and back again each day. in the mornings, possibly not so creative, but certainly on the way home I could. At the moment I'm not at that stage. I'm kind of aware of the fact I've got Wanderer 11 to come out, Dawnblade novel I'm halfway through, and another novel queued up. But I think as we move into the spring and summer and have more energy, there'll probably be a lot of short stories coming out. So appreciate it. It's been quite a while since an update and things are a bit slow. Thank you for everyone who's hanging on. Thank you especially to my amazing Patreon backers who I've not been doing enough for, but I will definitely be adding more to that. In terms of updates as well, I think I'm going to lean more heavily into these videos, so the emails are going to be quite brief. I find they take, even though they're quite short in some ways, they take a lot of creative energy, so I don't end up doing them. Whereas these I find a lot easier because I can just waffle and hopefully people can listen to it at fast speed if it's too much waffling. Oh, found something interesting. We're not going anywhere right now. So I am still here. The more books will still be coming. Wanderer 12 is still definitely in my mind. It just was quite a disrupted year, being made redundant and then not finding another role for nearly 6 months, which was it was, well, I'll be honest, in some ways it was quite scary because you know, you don't know if something's going to come up. And what actually happened is a really, really good job came up, so things have worked out well, but it does make you stop and think, and it's strange how it seems to be either having so much time that I don't get around to stuff, or not enough time to get around to stuff. I think maybe there's a lesson in there which I'm trying to learn. But I'm definitely waffling. My hands are getting really cold now. I'm trying to work out what's growing here. I don't think it's sugar beet, because we've had the sugar beet harvest. So, oh, it's rapeseed. Oh, wonderful. I get really bad hay fever from rapeseed. I can just see one. Blimey, one. It's only March and it's already starting to, yeah, they're all starting to flower. Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm suffering right now with the tree pollen, which surprised me because I hadn't actually seen anything coming out. And then 3 days after I got my hay fever started, everything started coming out. So it has been lovely and spring-like, as I say. I mean, it's beautiful. It's truly beautiful. And there's sort of woods that way. It really is, but it's a little chilly as well. So that's it from me and the two doggies. The next update will hopefully be nowhere near such a long time away. And until next time, happy... Oh, and actually one other thing I just remembered. Project Hail Mary, the movie, is coming out in about 2 weeks, I think. So all of us are going to go and see it. I am hugely excited. I've deliberately not watched any trailers. I really hope they do it justice and it's as good as the books are, or at least as close as good as it can be, because the books obviously have more ability to go into depth. But if you haven't read Project Hail Mary, especially if you like The Martian, definitely read it. I would say listen to it or read it before going to the movie. But I'm hoping it's going to be as awesome as it can be. And I'll probably, if I remember, confirm what it's like next time. So until next time, happy reading.